Chantay, aka Chantay Z on Twitter and Instagram, or just simply just Chantay Berry. So I am here with the daily analysis. Today is Thursday, November 5th. We're in day 3 of this election madness, but before I get into that, I have to address the numbers of COVID, as I always do all the time, because we're still in the midst of a global pandemic, and who knows when we're out of this situation, because there's no clarity and there's no certainty when we're out of this situation. So I'm just going to pull up some data and just talk about it. So our global confirmed cases in 189 countries were at 48,600,930. The global death toll is at 1,232,214. Hi. The U.S. confirmed cases here at home were at 9,606,502. The U.S. death toll is at 234,911. And this is all according to the Johns Hopkins University and Medicine website. The website is coronavirus.jhu.edu. You can always check it out for yourself. You can always inform yourself to know, instead of looking at TV, you can always research these numbers. It's just a quick little thing here that you can do. And according to the new cases that we have, as you see it on the bottom, the new cases reported was 102,000.83. So once again, the new confirmed infections of today, reported today, was over 100,000. So it was 102,000.83. That's bad. Dr. Fauci did predict that we will have 100,000 cases per day. And this is where it is. And I believe it's like the second or third day this happened. But yet, we still have no national coordinated response to this pandemic. But wait, hold on. I just exited out of my whole entire thing. Seriously? But to move on to state numbers, those are important, because here at home, we got to know about the states. So here it is. These state numbers are at the New York Times COVID map. You can subscribe to the New York Times COVID map. It's free, just for the coronavirus updates only. And the same for Washington Post. But I am on the New York Times COVID map. Texas, damn it. I pray that they don't reach 1 million tomorrow, but they're on that trajectory where they can reach 1 million cases in coronavirus infections. If they are, they'll be the first state in the U.S. to hit 1 million. So they have 992,693, followed by California, which they're on that 1 million trajectory mark for new COVID infections reported as well. Is at 958,678. Next is Florida, which they're like about not too far from 900,000. Hey, Queen Lion, how are you? Is that 827,372. New York, which was once the epicenter of all of this, is at 523,559. Illinois, 455,503. Georgia, 384,531. North Carolina, 286,210. Tennessee, 267,557. Wisconsin, which is now had top New Jersey, because now they are in the top 10. They actually top Arizona at 263,640. Arizona, which exit that top 10, which that ends that top 10. Sorry for the wrong words. With 252,843. I won't be surprised that Wisconsin will top Tennessee. That knocks New Jersey, which they're the 11th highest cases, at 249,019. But then you have Ohio, which is number 12, at 235,170. Pennsylvania, 225,968. Michigan, 218,136. Montana, which I'm shocked, or is it Missouri, at 204,000. And they're not even a big state. And then you have Indiana, which is not really a huge state neither, at 684. But then again, look who is leading the coronavirus task force. The same person who led the HIV and AIDS outbreak when they were governor of Indiana. Do your research on Michael Richard Pence. I suggest that you all do it, because he did not handle that outbreak very well. But according to people that has rising infections, you see, North Dakota has a lot of cases within the last couple days. And I guess they're the highest infection rate as well. But it disappeared. I'm not surprised, because I fixated the map differently. But overall, we have no national coordinated response. The vaccine trials had to be pushed back. Absolutely, Queen Line, he has no business leading the COVID response. What else? We have no stimulus right now. Nancy Pelosi is trying to negotiate with Steve Mnuchin, but there's no reason, and they're not honoring what she's proposing. And Mitch McConnell said, fuck that. I'm not reconvening the Senate for nothing. And Donald Trump just worried about making sure he secured the residency, as I call it. But he's in the fight of his life. Hard-headed people just wear a mask 45 think that he is Superman. And he's not. He's almost 75 years old, and he was really sick because he was treated by great physicians at a well-known hospital, and because he is the resident of the free world, is the reason why he is immune, which he's not immune, because he can get sick again. He's 74. He probably has other health competencies that we don't even know about. But who am I? But overall, Donald Trump is just worried about making sure he does not lose the residency, which is on a trajectory where he is about to lose the presidency, because he thought he was going to take this in the bag. But Joe Biden is kicking his ass in mail-in ballots. And so funny, mail-in ballots are supposed to help Republicans. That's how Republicans win. But apparently Donald Trump talked so much shit about mail-in ballots. Even Republicans behind the scenes was like, no, but they didn't speak up enough. Instead, they let him say any ridiculous shit out of his mouth for the last 3 years that he's been saying. Now it's biting them in the ass. When you surprised at I'm going to address them in a minute. Oh, trust. I'm going to address them in a minute, Queen Lion. But the simple fact is now, like, you talked this shit about mail-in ballots and have Pam Bondi embarrassing the fucking shit out of herself on Fox and Friends, and she thought that she was going to get kudo points, but she got checked by Steve Doocy. I mean, you literally kicked your own self in the ass. Donald Trump messed up this election for himself, and it's showing. He's at 213 electoral votes. Joe Biden's at 253. Joe Biden only needs 17 more to be the president-elect. Because it's what Pennsylvania is swaying his way. with mail-in ballots. And it works sufficiently. You're absolutely right. And even in Georgia, shockingly, Georgia, no Democrat has won Georgia since Bill Clinton. And that's when I was 6. So, I mean, just imagine how that is, right? But this is where we are, folks. We're in the most messiest election. My sister said it was going to be an ugly one. She wasn't lying neither. And she's not even into politics. And she told me, Chantay, this is going to be an ugly one. And I was just like, yeah. Donald Trump thought he was going to skate away free. And some of us Democrats thought Joe Biden was going to win with a landslide. But of course, the 53, now the 55%, decided to vote in the interest of their husbands. Being the step-4 wives that they are, they did that. But failed to realize that they just shitted on democracy. You voted for a person that downplayed a public health crisis that killed over 230 Americans. But you also failed to realize that you voted against racial reckoning, which pretty much overall, this was a racist election. You were mad because he picked a black woman as his VP. What did you expect? It was time. It was time. And Kamala just didn't get picked because she was black. She got picked because she was qualified. Technically, I really wanted Kamala Harris as my president, but you know how that swayed. But she will be in the executive branch. And she will make history with the most whitest man as president of the United States. And of course, he's crying fraud. Donald Trump think because he got the election last year. He didn't get the election the last time, the last time in 2016. I said last year. Last time in 2016, he didn't win by a landslide. He had 306 electoral votes. Hillary Clinton had 218. He did not have the popular vote. Hillary Clinton did. That's why I'm not in favor of the Electoral College. Nope. But Donald Trump thinks he can bulldoze his way like he has done for years before he ran for office. Donald Trump has that old slick New York mentality, crooked landlord mentality at that, and think he just can shiest his way through. No, this is the real world. This is what you're dealing with. You're dealing with the real world. And truth is, he never been outside of the real world. He only had a job working for his father. So this is his first outside job. And he did badly at it for the last couple of years. So now it's a rebuke, thanks to black people around the world, around the country, to save democracy. Not the 55%, not the 58% of white men, not even the 36% of Latinos, which that's another conversation that we're going to have, or the 28% of Latinas. Black people. It's people like me and black men like my father. Whichever black man is watching, that's you too, to save democracy. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But we have a slight chance to take Georgia. Whoever thought Democrats would take Georgia? And as I'm looking at these results, I'm going to go to AP. AP's been recording this stuff. I don't see it right here. Let me just check that. The Associated Press, that's what AP stands for. According to AP, Joe Biden has 264, and Donald Trump still has 214. I meant to say 214, not 213. But a lot of the media outlets are not reporting what AP said because they want to make sure they get all the ballots from Maricopa. But Joe Biden already has Arizona. And he can possibly get Pennsylvania because he's closing in on Donald Trump's gap. Donald Trump's lead shrunk so much from like 50% last night to 52%, and it went from 52 to now it's at 49.9, and Joe Biden's at 49.4 or 49.2, but it's in close proximity of each other. So either way, the votes in Philadelphia has to be counted. The votes in Pittsburgh got to be counted. And those are the two cities that have the highest Black population. Philly is the largest city in the state. So, and it was a great turnout. And most of them did mail-in ballot and early voting. It's going to be a wrap for Donald Trump. Everybody was like, no, don't speak too soon. It's going to happen. If turnout is good in a city like Philadelphia, because they're the next city over New York, they got this in the bag. It's real. It's real. And Donald Trump just better off just rather start writing his plea stuff, because he's going to have to face court in New York. And New York been wanting to send him to jail for quite a long time. I hope Joe Biden wins too, because he's on a trajectory to winning. He only needs 17 more electoral votes. Donald Trump will have to win several states with a landslide to get the electoral vote, and it's not looking too good. If you watch all the channels like MSNBC, CNN, and even Fox, you see that Donald Trump is not leading by much. And they're still counting ballots, in places like Pennsylvania, more so Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, Georgia, technically Atlanta, and Nevada, and even now in Maricopa. They're counting it. I did not watch that, but I heard he lied as normal. I'm not surprised that he lied. I was actually at TJ Maxx down the block from my house, but I heard he lied. I'm not shocked. Donald Trump is a liar, a well-known liar, and always been a liar. If you're from New York, Northern New Jersey, or Southern Connecticut, you know Donald Trump is a bona fide liar. And a bona fide cheese eater, which that means he's an OD snitch. Because he was an informant for the FBI back in the 1980s when he was running the casinos in Atlantic City and got money and worked with the Gambino family. So, and the Gambino family is the most popular mob family in New York, mostly based out in Staten Island. So, yeah, Donald Trump has a lot of crime baggage, a lot of money issues, always did. That's why, when they came out with the taxes, I'm like, New Yorkers is we told y'all so. People from New Jersey told you so. People from Southern Connecticut told you so. We dead told you so. So the only thing he has left is to try to steal this election and try to sue people, which that's not working. One of the judges in Georgia just shut his ass down. So, and Philadelphia and Pennsylvania ain't going for the bullshit, because the AG is bring it on. That AG is tough. He's the second toughest AG. Oh, hell yeah. My AG's not playing. She's dead serious. She's dead ass. Shout out to Brooklyn, because she is from Brooklyn. So shout out to Brooklyn, because she's definitely going to go in on him and his adult children. Ivanka and her two dumb ass brothers. He said that the election he said that he did win the election to his supporters. He didn't win. he's only leading, he's really leading in North Carolina, and he's not even leading by much in North Carolina because Joe Biden is eating into his lead. Like, how crazy that is. Every state so far, that the states that have not been called, him and Joe Biden are like neck and neck, like neck and neck. He's not leading by much. In Georgia, his lead is getting eaten. We know in Pennsylvania, his lead is getting eaten. And the same is in North Carolina. Because the Democrats have advocated, the one thing they were good at is advocating for mail-in ballots and early voting. That's the one thing that the Democrats say. Take advantage of early voting. Take advantage of mail-in ballots. Make a plan and vote. You saw those commercials. Make a plan and vote. Make a plan and vote. Make a plan and vote. Kamala said it the whole time. She had the Vote Safe Act. Amy Klobuchar said you can vote in the comfort of your home. Her and Senator Wyden said the same thing. Joe Biden even advocated for early voting and vote now and make a plan. IWillVote.com. His surrogates said the same thing. Make a plan and vote. So when I hear these dumbass progressives, that's the next thing. Oh my God. Cenk Uygur. Y'all know who he is. I call him Mr. Stick Your Dick in the Animal. Bestiality dude, Mr. 4%, Mr. TYNT. Seems, bitter that Democrats didn't win by a landslide. So I just have to play this for you because this shit here is like, he had a whole ass meltdown. Yes, I can't wait to say bye to the pumpkin, New York boys. I said deuces, or saying good luck in Rikers Island, don't drop the soap. Because them niggas in Rikers Island, excuse my French for saying that, they will try to do anything, and it's Donald Trump out of all people. Oh, they will fuck with him, and they will fuck with his sons. OD. So let's just play Cenk's video, because since he had a whole ass meltdown. So I'ma just play it.
And get out of the way. Both Jake Tapper and Nancy Pelosi and all those, and every editor at the New York Times has to get out of our way. Let us hit the Republicans in the face instead of playing patty cakes with them. How many elections are we going to get to a razor's edge with a monster idiot fascist like Donald Trump? One last thing. I swear to God, I'm going to go to Ida. But one last thing on this, guys. Forget him being a racist. Forget him being a fascist. The guy's IQ is lower than 70. He's an idiot. He's a total moron. And you couldn't figure out how to crush him in an election? Man, the corporate Democrats and the mainstream media suck at this. They absolutely, positively suck, and they brainwash smart people into compliance. But that's not...
Brainwash people? If anything, the mainstream media more so glorified Donald Trump than the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party is like on its own. It's in the woods somewhere. The actual Democratic Party, I should say. Because Cenk and the progressives act like they're not part of the Democratic Party. The last time I checked, they ran in the Democratic Party. You did not run as independents, because if you ran as independents, okay, you could talk that shit. But y'all motherfuckers caucus and ran in the Democratic Party. So I like, where's the disconnect? Make the shit make motherfucking sense. See, I have issues with them using the term progressive, because I'm just gonna pull the definitions up, because I'm just so sick of this fucking shit with them. I'm really am, because, and I've been fighting with progressives online forever, and I feel like you guys are not real progressives. So let's just look up the term progressive, since you got to educate motherfuckers here and there. I'm just so sick of the shit. So progressivism is a noun. It's support for or advocacy of social reforms. So you tell me Medicare for all and the Green New Deal are social reforms? Because that's all you hear. Universal basic income, not too much of a social reform. Because if that's the case, you could have endorsed Kamala Harris's Lift Act, which I didn't. Now let's look up the term socialism. Socialism is a noun. A political and economic theory of social organization which advocates that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. It's similar to leftism, but that's one. Another definition is policy or practice based on the political and economic theory of socialism. So when I think of that, I think of Kamala Harris's plan is better. Even Andrew Yang's $1,000 a month, that's more suitable. But Kamala Harris's plan is more doable and is actually can pass in the Senate if you had the right Senate leader. The Black maternal health initiatives that Kamala Harris have advocated for, those are progressive and even socialism platforms. The extended after school that she had during the primaries, that's very progressive, almost damn near socialism, because she wanted to implement it in every public school or every school in the United States of America. She had the Vote Safe Act. That's progressive, especially around this time. Giving Americans $2,000 a month during the pandemic for a whole year and 3 months after declaring the pandemic is over. That's fucking progressive. And guess who's on that fucking bill? The two progressive senators. Well, really the one most progressive senator above Kamala and the other who proclaim themselves to be a democratic socialist. That's right, people. Ed Murphy and Bernard Sanders. There's more I want to go on to about this. About Kamala's initiatives that will pass in the Senate. She had a bill with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She had Save Our Streets with Ayanna Pressley for the pandemic. She had a task force that she wanted to do, to train doctors to how to talk to Black and brown people in the hospital. That's progressive to me. So, as I mentioned, progressivism and socialism does not mean the Green New Deal or Medicare for all. And to give you guys word, Medicare for all was actually introduced by the late, great John Conyers back in 2003. So once again, Bernie Sanders had Christopher Columbus, John Conyers' plan. I'm not surprised. These progressives don't understand policy. They can't even create a fucking policy of their own. So when I hear Shank, Anna, John, Ryan Grimm, Ryan Knight, Crystal Ball, even and Brianna Gray, when they say dumb shit like this, I just get so irritable. Because as a person who studied business and is in grad school for business, but also politics have ties into business because of the policy and the economics behind it, it makes me so fucking upset. And that they're loud about the shit and they're wrong about the shit. Because if you want to get technical, democratic policies, actual democratic policies, actually help govern and help Americans better. Especially the economic plans, because Democrats have a better economic plan. It's just the fact that they have to be better on messaging and say, my plan works. And this is how. Or they can do historical context from Jimmy Carter and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama. Because those are the three presidents so far. And I can say LBJ, even though his ass was racist. I can say him too, because those four Democratic presidents had better economic and social programs and social policies that help Americans, both black and white. Intersectionality, that's what it's called. So let's define the term intersectionality for those who don't know what intersectionality is. It's a noun. The interconnected nature of social characterizations such as race, class, and gender as they apply to a given individual or group regarded as creating overlapping and interdependent systems of discrimination or disadvantage. Yeah, and they have to stop using big words too. It's fine to use them in certain sentences, but not all the time. You have to meet people where they are. I always say that. Not all the time, but in times, not even just in an election, but in town halls, you have to meet people where they are. Because if you meet people where they are, they will actually get it and will actually vote for you. Republicans are good at messaging because they lie a lot. And have been lying post 1964. Yes, Richard Nixon created one of the agencies for minority-owned businesses, but he did run his campaign on fear, too. He did. And that's just what it is. But intersectionality is important. And the concept of it is a framework of capitalizing a person, group, or people or social problem as affected by a number of discriminations and disadvantages. So who was the intersectionality candidate during the primaries is now the vice presidential candidate with the whitest man. That's right, Kamala Harris. The extended after school program, like, you know how many parents will kill for that? Because aftercare is just as much money as daycare. For a person that ran an out-of-time school program, after-school program, I could tell you, those parents struggle to pay weekly fees. Also, what is it? The LIFT Act with the money, getting money. Don't know how much money it was per se. Can put a cap on it. That would help everybody. The $2,000 a month during the coronavirus, in the peak of it, will help everybody. For those who stop not to lose their homes. Like, there's so much. The task force for the healthcare that Kamala Harris had, that will help everybody. So that's intersectionality. That's what it means. I said the same thing. Support a drug. I guess that's what you put. I don't understand the same thing. But I just wish these fucking progressives will actually not bastardize the terms of progressivism. Well, let me not rephrase them to progressives because I feel like they use that term wrong. I'm going to start using fluxgressives or regressives, or the name that I call the cosplay socialist capitalists. Because they're not advocating for progressivism. It's about me and support my campaign. And let me do my platforms and write my books instead of working for the will of the people that voted for you. That's why I hope not Crystal, what's her name? Cori Bush. Because I know Jamal Bowen will. He looks like a genuine dude. He will actually, do for the people uptown in the Bronx and Yonkers. Cori Bush, I hope she does this. I hope she does for her people. I hope she does. And cut that toxic bullshit out. And the same for Rashida Tlaib. The same thing for Ilhan Omar. And even for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Even though she's from my hometown. But she can cut the bullshit too. And start working for the will of the American people. And work with the new administration that will come in. Because they actually will listen to your dumbasses. We know Kamala will listen to your dumbass. But Joe Biden will also sit there and have a conversation and listen to your dumbass. Both him and Kamala are long-winded people. But they're great people. So let that sink in. They will listen to their dumbasses. But lastly, before I go, I just want to give a shout out, and I said this on my Twitter if you follow me. A shout out to Kim Catlick and Angela Staton King for losing their races miserably. I mean, if I read the results, it's fucking embarrassing. I will not even be on Twitter for like a week, a months. So I'll just read the numbers. Kim Catlick ran against Kwasi Mufik. I can't pronounce his name. He had 70.8% of the vote, which is 168,000 people that voted for him. Kim Catlick, or Kim K, only earned 29.2% of the vote. That is 69,000%. That's like less than half of the vote. Because half of 168,000 is like in the 80s somewhere. In the 80,000 range somewhere. And she only earned 69,428 of the vote. 69,428. That's bad. Endorsed by Trump. That's what happens. And he didn't campaign for her. He didn't campaign for her at all. Now, Angela Staton King. This is even more embarrassing. Angela Staton King, well, I'm going to read. She challenged Nikema Williams for John Lewis's seat. Nikema Williams earned 85.1% of the vote. That vote is 293,220. Versus Angela Staton King, who only earned 14.9% of the vote at 51,000 votes, 326. And Trump did not even, I don't even endorse her. He did not campaign for her. But he campaigned for the QAnon lady. She's heading to Congress. With all that conspiracy theory, she's heading to Congress. So once again, when these progressives took them out, we losing congressional seats. We may lost like 2 or 3, maybe 5, but we gained some. We still got majority of the House of Representatives. And we're about to flip another Senate seat in Arizona. Because Captain Kelly looked like he about to be on top. So, yeah, I'm just going to leave y'all with that. But I am going to continue to watch this race. And I wish you all a good night. And we got this. Let's pray on it. Pray on my child. Yes, I got to hold on high. And I'll just leave you with that. But you have a wonderful and blessed one. I'll see you tomorrow on the after show. My show, I'll be live on Instagram around 10:30ish to do my live. So have a good night.